Well, you do spend some time looking over your shoulder. I'm not going to lie. Um, but mostly what I decided to do was live my life. And I really threw myself into being a mom because that's what I had waited. I didn't become a mother until I was 38 years old. And I decided that I was going to be the best mom I could be. And I really threw myself into my kids' lives, which, my daughter was a competitive swimmer and my son was a competitive dancer. And so it was full out all about them, honestly. If I wasn't at the pool watching my daughter compete, I was at the dance studio watching my son dance. And consequently, I I kind of gave up my own life a little bit, and I was an actor. I was an actor for years. I did theater. I had an agent. I danced. I kind of lost myself in that. And not that I regret it, but I spent so much time being a mom and making sure their dreams came true that I kind of gave up my own. And it was okay because I wasn't sure how many years I had, to be honest. But I was going to make sure I was at every event, every school event, every mom thing, everything. And consequently, my daughter became an academic All-American swimmer. And my son got himself a scholarship to Arizona State University in the musical theater performance program. And my daughter
That's
got
awesome.
herself a scholarship for the University of Arizona.
Mm. That's
And
great. That's really awesome.
yeah, and so then, and of course, I was doing my pageants and raising my money, and I think I'm somewhere over $250,000 for all kinds of cancer research. And in that time, I lost both of my parents to two different types of cancer, ironically.
Ah,
And so I've raised money for pancreatic, I've raised money for colon, I've raised money for prostate, I've raised money for everything. And the first time I allowed myself to go back to performing on stage was at the international pageant, and I performed in front of Andy for the first time. And I did that.
yeah, that's a pretty awesome story, Robin. You just triggered something in me when you said, um, and I can't remember the exact conversation. But you said I gave up my life to do, I think, to be with your kids. But what really struck me then is, like surviving colon cancer, you gave up the old life and you created this new one to now make so much more value. Like, when I watch it, I used to work, as I've been an actor for 30 years, I've always had part-time jobs to keep financially secure. And I used to work at a fitness center in Melbourne, Australia for 10 years between acting. And I used to watch the parents come in every day early in the morning for swimming lessons or in the evening, or come to the gym, watching them play basketball. And look, all parents are so, supportive of their kids. But then you get the parents that come in sometimes like, oh, they're a little bit angry and circumstances come up and I don't really want to go there this morning. But what you just said to me is like, when you get that line that goes, you're either going to be here or you're not, it changes your whole view of life. Just sitting looking at a tree can be the most beautiful thing that you've ever seen. Or
Yes.
watching the dog run around the backyard, or the cats fight, or your kids argue. To be able to break up your children arguing is a blessing, to be able to do that. Do you agree that it changes your view on life a lot?
Yes, my kids are living their dream. Like for example, here's a perfect example. My son he was the lead in his high school musical. He had no idea I used to act or dance or sing. He never saw me do that. And yet it was just in his DNA to do that. And he won all kinds of awards in high school. He sings, he dances, he acts. And when he auditioned to try to get into the program at Arizona State University, I was like, honey, most people don't get it their first try. And you might have to try again and again. And he got accepted into the musical theater program. Yeah, he
The
just,
very first time.
yeah,
Robin, you did a bit of your doctor's thing there.
I
You might get in the first time. You might have to try again. No,
well,
just do it, honey.
and he got the lead in the High School Musical. He was the lead in Footloose. He's this little blue-eyed blonde boy. He
Wow.
played Gomez Adams. He was unbelievable. He got nominated for a Zony at the age of 17. I've been nominated for one Zony, and I've been acting
Wow.
since I was 18, and I think I was 30 something,
Wow.
He just loves it. In fact, tomorrow he got called back for the lead in Freaky Friday. It's his first professional stage musical, and he's called back tomorrow. So I'm perfectly
That's awesome.
content watching them live their dream because I was there. So
Yeah, see, that's so powerful. Like going straight back, and we've probably run out of time now, but we're definitely going to do another interview with you. But when you said to that doctor, yes, I'm going to make arrangements for my children to be there for them, and boy, did you honor that word.
I did.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
God provided you the opportunity to do that,
Absolutely.
which is great.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's so good. Hey, Doug, on closing, do you have any, because we're going to definitely speak to Robin again. Is there anything that you want to add,
I must ask you, how do you think your story can impact the world?
I feel, honestly, I don't believe in statistics. That's what I would say. When someone tells you something and they say, well, statistically, I'm like, well, you know what? Statistics have two sides. And if someone says, well, 80% of the people that go through, well, someone has to be the other 20% or the other 10%. And so don't believe statistics are always meant to be you're on that negative side. And I would just say that everybody has a story, and you never know until you walk in your own shoes or someone else's shoes. Sometimes people are having a bad day and you don't know what their day is. So always try to be positive, always try to be the better person, and just live your best life. I mean, that sounds so cliche, but that's honestly how I
Yeah,
feel.
but it is true, though. It's like what everything you said is true. You have no idea what's going on with people. Like we're doing a bit of a coffee and conversation, one of our other platforms, Doug and myself. I'm just going to share a bit about my journey, how I got to here. But one example of that is I was a very angry person, like from a young kid. I don't know. People say, yeah, but it's a lot of it's your past with your dad. I said, yeah, it is, because I saw him argue. But sometimes that's just how, like I'm sure when I was born, my mum just sort of went, I think he's going to be a problem. Right? And she was right. She was right. I gave them hell, but that is what it is. But getting back to that conversation is like I was sitting a couple of years ago outside a gas station in Australia, which we call petrol stations, and I had plenty of room. I was sitting off the side of the road in a big special area parking, and I was taking photos of locomotives and trains in a yard across the road because my young son in Australia, he loves trains because I used to drive locomotives for 13, 14 years in my earlier days, right? So he's got a great interest in trains. Doug is helping him build his platform and he does videos. It's awesome. So I take any opportunity I get. Anyway, this guy drives behind me, goes to the petrol bowsers, the gas pumps, and he's abusing me. Like you could have got a semi-trailer in there, right? Or a semi-trailer. I'm doing the Australian-American version. You could have got a semi-trailer in there, but he had a bad day. He was abusing me, and I wound my window down. I said, hey, man, yeah, look, he goes, and get off your phone. I said, but I'm not driving, but I'm just letting you know I'm taking photos of trains for my son. And he went, oh, well, I said, okay. I said, look, can I say something to you? I said, I'm really sorry. I probably could have moved up a little bit for you to get in. And I said, look, to be honest, whatever I did that upset you, sorry, mate. And I said, I don't want to send you home so you're going to be angry and yell at your wife. Right? I was being a bit smart. Anyway, he put the petrol bowser that pumped down and he come over to the car and thought, oh, now we're going to fight. And I'm too old to fight. And he just come up and he said, what's your name? I said, Andy. He goes, yeah, man. He shook my hand. He said, thanks. He said, I don't know who you are. He said, but you just stopped me going home yelling at my wife, because he said I would have, not because I don't I love it, but I mean, I had the worst day and I'm so angry. I said, really? I said, and he laughed. He said, yeah, bad day. He said, but what you just did, you've just got me to see it's got nothing to do with you. You actually did nothing wrong. And when I go home, I probably would have found something wrong. And he said, thank you for what you just did. See, we don't know what people are going through.
Right.
Whatever he had go through his day. So it's really very powerful just to listen to people and just, don't have a reaction to them, because you actually don't know what's happening to them in that day.
You don't know. Yeah,
No.
and I have that at my job. People will come in and they'll be in the worst mood, and I'm like, I get it. You're hungry, you're fasting. I'm about to draw your blood. You're not happy about it. And then you listen to them talk for a minute, and they're like, "Thank you for being nice."
Yeah, yeah,
You
that's
know,
right. Yeah, exactly. Well,
yeah,
look, thanks, Robin. It's been so good. I can't wait to
it
do the next
was.
one. I can't wait to connect up with your husband and Jerry Trimble. Be awesome. And Doug, thanks again for
Yeah, thanks,
like
Josh.
helping create this. Awesome, man.
No problem. Alrighty, followers. I want to thank Robin for appearing on the show. Her cell phone number is right here.
You're an idiot. You seriously are.
Alrighty, followers. I want to thank Robin for appearing on the show. And we'll see you next time on Being Relentless and Unstoppable.